G'day friends and folks, I'm finally back with another Q&A. It's been a long time. That's mainly because the majority of the questions I get asked, I would say 50% of the questions, can be answered with a simple Google search. But I don't want to be one of those guys that pisses people off by going on rants all the time, so let's move on to the first question, which is, do you think that live-action Dragon Ball Z is possible? Okay, so I think anything's possible, right? But live-action Dragon Ball Z, it's never been done well. It's never been done well. We've had these fan creations which are decent, but they just don't suit Dragon Ball Z. However, is it impossible? I don't think anything's impossible. I think it can be done. Now, I've kind of thought of a scenario or a plot for how a live-action Dragon Ball Z movie could go down, and basically what I was thinking is don't involve the main cast, don't involve Goku, pretty much don't involve the guys who are on Earth. Have the movie revolve around Frieza. Let's say that in this live-action movie, Frieza attacks a random planet. Let's say that kind of similar to the Silver Surfer and Galactus, there's this one guy, this one being on the planet says that he will work for Frieza and join his army if he spares his planet, and so he does. Over time, this guy realizes how ruthless and how terrible Frieza really is, so he decides to train. He then confronts Frieza, Frieza obviously being too powerful, kills him, then goes back and wipes out his planet, end of the movie. I think that would be sick. I think that would be the greatest thing of all time. If they could pull that off, you wouldn't have to give as much backstory. Let's say if you started in the Android saga like everybody seems to love to do in these live action films. But I don't know, let me know what you guys think. I think it's sick, and you're probably not going to change my mind. But thank you for that question, man. Now moving on to the next question, which is, why don't you swear? Which actually came in 37 minutes ago. The thing is, I actually do swear a bit, you know. I don't swear in my videos because, just picture this. G'day friends and fuckheads, welcome back to 7 types of Dragon Ball Z fuckwits. Number 1, we got fucking Oolong. Number 2, we got that bitch Poir. Imagine if every video I did, I was swearing every 2 seconds. The videos that I do don't really give me much room to swear, but like if you're around me and you're talking to me, you're gonna hear me swear at least once. But no, thank you for that question, man. Now moving on to the next question, which is, what if Goku turned Super Saiyan 3 or fused against Cell? What would happen to the Buu saga? Okay, I'm gonna use this question as an example of what not to ask me, because as someone who looks at Dragon Ball every day, I don't care about what ifs. I mean, I used to, but unless it's in a game or a TV special, I just couldn't care about what ifs. So yeah, let that be known. Now before I move on to the next question, I just want to take a sip for the working man paying those gimmicks in the mail called bills. This sip's for you. I'm drinking ice cold water, by the way. It's the perfect thing in this country. Finally, moving on to the next question, which is, what are your thoughts on Dragon Ball clickbait? Now, I've got a very unique opinion on this. That opinion being, I don't really care, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. So thank you for that question, man. Now moving on to the next question, which is, where do you think Dragon Ball will be 10 years from now? This is an example of a good question. So Dragon Ball in 10 years time, hopefully everyone's still alive and World War III hasn't killed us all, but if I'm being honest, the only 2 things that I really care about in relation to Dragon Ball are the games and the actual series. So if we're still getting games and we're still getting content for the series, then I'm gonna be happy, but I want Dragon Ball to be a household name, okay? I know the question was, where do you expect to see Dragon Ball in 10 years time? I kinda twisted it into what I want Dragon Ball to be in 10 years time. But no, if I were to predict what Dragon Ball were to become in 10 years, hopefully they're still bringing out more content. I mean, that's all we can really hope for, but 10 years is a long time, and I know a lot can happen in 10 years. Just look what happened in 2 years with Battle of Gods, Battle of Z, Xenoverse, and Resurrection F, and now Dragon Ball Super. I have high hopes, I really do. But honestly, we're just gonna have to wait and see. Now, as to what I would love to see, the ideal Dragon Ball Z game, I made a video on it about a week ago actually. Check it out. That's what I fucking want. In 10 years time, if the ultimate Dragon Ball Z gaming experience isn't made in 10 years time, I may just have to give up hope. But no, thank you for that question, man. Now moving on to the next question, which is, why can't you start a gaming channel? The entire reason I don't make a gaming channel is for one simple reason, and that reason is I don't know what I would call it. Would I call it Expert Games Games or Expert Games Plays? You know, I don't want to start racking my brain over what I would call it, so I think it would be best if I just stayed clear of it. But thank you for that question, man. Now moving on to the next question, which is, do you like GT or Super better from what you have seen of Super so far? Well, I have seen 22 episodes of Dragon Ball Super and 64 episodes of Dragon Ball GT, and honestly, besides Super 17 and the underutilization of Oob, I didn't mind GT. I thought that the Black Star Dragon Ball stuff was probably the second weakest Arc, then I would go Omega Shenron, then I thought the Baby Arc was the best. But no, I think GT as of right now is still better than Dragon Ball Super. I think that Dragon Ball Super can be better, we'll just have to wait and give it some time. Moving on to the next question, which is a bunch of fuck, marry, kill questions. We have Android 18, Beerus, and Frieza, FMK. Okay, I'd kill Frieza, marry Beerus, fuck Android 18. Then we have another one that says me, Master Roshi, and Geekdom. Okay, but I'd fuck myself, I'd marry Geekdom, and I'd unfortunately have to kill Master Roshi. Even though Geekdom and Master Roshi are probably the same person, we have another fuck, marry, kill as well. Bulma, Android 18, and Chi-Chi. I'd kill Android 18, I would fuck Chi-Chi, and I'd marry Bulma so I can have sex with her multiple times. I can't believe I said that in this tone of voice. Thank you for that question, man. No, I'm just playing. Now moving on to the next question, which is, if you had the power to spy on anyone in the world, who would you spy on? Probably Toriyama, just to see what he does. I was actually going to say the government, because I feel like the government is doing a lot of things that we as people don't know about, and that would be something that I would have liked more of an in-depth look at, but no, Toriyama all the way. So now moving on to the final question of this video, which is, what is your favorite game? If you were to ask me this question at the start of the year, I couldn't give you an answer, but it's because I've only recently come to terms with my favorite game of all time that I can give you an answer. And my favorite game of all time, I've been playing it for 4 years, it's The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. That game has everything for me. It has the sentimental attachment, it's the perfect genre, it has the right lore, it has heaps of mods, and all I can say, I was hyped for Fallout 4, but once The Elder Scrolls 6 gets even close to speculation mode, I'm going to be almost as excited as I was for the announcement of Dragon Ball Super. It's up there with my love for Dragon Ball, not quite as much, but it's definitely up there. And that's where I'm going to end this Q&A. If you do like these types of videos, make sure to let me know. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and as always, I will see you next time.